Good evening, everyone. Hope our day is going well. Okay, so today we'll be looking at no, not good day, everyone. Hope our day is going well. Okay, so we're looking at past, present, and answer on 2024 OBJ questions. All right. So I'll be telling you guys the question. I'll be calling out the questions, then reading out the questions, and explaining the options as well. Which ones are correct and which ones are not correct. Okay, so for question one, let's go. True motility is present in bacteria that possess option says flagella, cilia, pseudopods, and cilia. So the microorganism we are looking at here is what? Bacteria. Bacteria. So they are testing your knowledge on characteristics of what? Bacteria. So first of all, motility means movement. It is what? Move. So bacteria they make use of flagella for movement, not cilia, not pseudopods, not cilia. Okay. So the flagella is a what? The flagella is a what? A whip-like protein structure. Yeah, so what swim, enable them to have perform swimming. Other structures like pseudopods, cilia is found in what? Bacteria, pseudopods is found in amoeba, cilia is also what? Found in bacteria. So it's found in it's found in protozoa. So other ones are not found in bacteria. Okay? So cilia is found in what? Bacteria. Sorry, cilia is found in what? Protozoa. Pseudopods is found in what? Amoeba. And then cilia is also found in. So on to the next one. Question 2. Uniqueness of chordates. Chordates are animals with backbone. Is what? Options. Possession of notochord, presence of triploblastic layers, possession of exoskeleton, and possession of priol. So the uniqueness here is what? Possession of notochord. Notochord is a rod-like structure that appears during the early stage of development. Okay? So exoskeleton. Now, triploblastic layer, this is true for many chordates, but not for all, alright? So it's true for many non-chordates, but not for all. Triploblastic layers is but three gem layers. Many non-chordates as well have triploblastic layers. So it's not just peculiar to us chordates. Something like arthropods, spider, they still have three gem layers, endodem, ectodem, and mesodem. Alright, so possession of exoskeleton. Exoskeleton is peculiar to arthropods, insects, spider. Sorry, spider is outside. Octopus is present to insects, okay, not chordates. Okay, and lastly, possession of gills. Gills are present in aquatic animals, not chordate as well. So question 3, holometabulous. Holos means what? Uniform. Holometabulous um feature is not exhibited in. Holo means complete. Is not exhibited in what? Option says cockroach, housefly, butterfly, mosquito. So the correct option here is what? Housefly. Holo means complete metamorphosis. So cockroaches undergo incomplete metamorphosis, alright? While the rest, housefly, butterfly, mosquito, undergoes complete metamorphosis. Question says holometabulous is not exhibited in what? Cockroach. Cockroaches are what? Hemimetabulous. They undergo incomplete metamorphosis. Okay. So question 4. Spiders are carnivorous arthropods with simple eye. Their gaseous exchange is via what? Option says foot long, body surface, trachea, and spiral. Correct option here is what? Long. So they use book long for primarily for their gaseous exchange. So these are specialized respiratory organs consisting of stacked tissue plates that controls hemolymph before oxygen uptake. Okay. So for body surface is existing small arthropods. That's the ones that respire through their body surface, but not spiders. Okay. Trachea and spiracles they are exhibited by insects. transpired as well. So question 5. Which food nutrient is detected in urine? So diabetes is what um is an issue, is a body condition, a disease condition in which there is what too much blood sugar, there is too much glucose, which is a monomer of carbohydrate in the blood. So for you to test for diabetes, when they do urine analysis test, they will detect what sugar in your blood. So from the options here, carbohydrate, insulin, protein, lipid, which of these what sugar represents sugar? The answer is carbohydrate, right? So glucose, a carbohydrate, glucose simply means sugar, right? Monosaccharide are sugars. Glucose, a carbohydrate, is in urine, is a key indicator of diabetes. Normal urine does not contain glucose, so it indicates problem with blood glucose regulation. So insulin is a hormone that regulates glucose uptake in the blood. Protein in the urine is called proteinuria. Does not indicate diabetes. Lipid is what lipid in urine does not also indicate diabetes. So question 6. Which of the following is false for an axon? Okay. So for instance, this the keyword here is false, alright. So the option says at resting potential, membrane of axon is depolarized. That's the correct one. Because at resting state, membranes of axon are polarized, not depolarized. Depolarized means going closer to positive. Polarized means what? Negative. Next option says at resting potential, membrane of action is polarized. This is correct. This is correct as well. At action potential, membrane of action is depolarized. This is also correct. When action potential is generated, axons move closer to positive. And this one, polarization returns the potential difference of axons to minus 70 millivolts. This is what at resting potential. Okay, at resting potential, the axon membrane is polarized, not depolarized. That is, it has a minus 70 millivolt charge inside. Okay, so hope you are clear here. Which of the following is false? So the one that is false here is that membranes are polarized. Membrane of axon are depolarized, which is wrong because at resting they are polarized. So question 7. The supply of blood to the tissues of heart is termed dash. Coronary circulation. Coronary circulation means what? Coronary arteries that supply the heart. Pulmonary circulation is wrong because this is circulation of blood towards the lungs for it to be oxygenated. Systemic circulation is wrong because systemic circulation is what? Circulation to the entire organs aside the lungs, entire organs of the body and tissues. Open circulation is also wrong. Why? This is found in what? This is seen in arthropods, mollusks, and not vertebrates. So coronary circulation refers to blood supply to the heart via the coronary arteries. So 8. For effective development of an embryo, which of the following organs emerges first? Okay. So options: heart, brain, sense organs, intestine. So which of the following what appears first? The answer here is the heart. Heart. Every one of us knows that the heart is what an essential organ for life. And also during embryogenesis, that's formation of what an embryo, the heart appears around third to fifth, the third to fourth week, the third to fourth week, and start beating instantly. Other organs such as brain, sense organ, and intestine, they develop later, right, during organogenesis. So the heart is first functional organ. That's around day 22 to day 23. So next question, which is not a bone or in the bone? It's in correct option is what? Tympanic. Tympanic is not in membrane. Simple is your eardrum, stapes, impulse, and lobes. These are the three words, ear bones, also called ossets. And volume is what? A membrane, not a bone. So question 10. The tubercle bacillus is best identification. We have acid there. We have acid fasting, hematocillin, chromic acid. Bacterium tuberculosis, that tobacco is best identified using what? Acid fasting, due to its unique cell wall composition that resists colorization by acid alcohol. Cell wall which resists colorization by acid alcohol. So the best staining mechanism used here is what? Acid fast stain. Hematocillin, that's during your histology, not bacteria. Chromic acid and glacial acetic acid, they are not stains, they are fixative. Which among the following is not part of the membrane? Medulla oblongata, olfactory lobes, cerebrum, hypothalamus. Which of the following is not part of the membrane? So the answer here is what? Medulla oblongata. The rest are what? Part of, and the rest are part of the what? The rest are not part of the what? Four brain features. They are responsible in your smell, cognition, regulation, perspective. So the medulla oblongata is part of the hindbrain, not forebrain. The forebrain, a mistake here. Okay, so question 11. Which among the following is not part of the forebrain? So they're asking which of these is not found in the forebrain. Is not part of the forebrain. So option says medulla oblongata, olfactory lobes, cerebrum, and hypothalamus. Correct option here being medulla oblongata. This is part of the hindbrain, not forebrain. So it's part of the hindbrain, not forebrain. Okay, so question 12. Penicillin is an effective antibiotic because options: it blocks synthesis of cell wall, it prevents DNA replication, it blocks it blocks protein synthesis, inhibits one enzyme needed for glycolysis. Correct here is what? Blocks synthesis of cell wall in bacteria. So penicillin interferes with bacterial cell wall synthesis by blocking peptidoglycan cross-linking. And when we had our class on microorganisms, I told us that um penicillin is what's used as treatment for bacterial infections. Why? There is a characteristics found in cell walls of bacteria, which is known as what? Peptidoglycan. Now, penicillin what goes and interface E synthesis, right? And thereby what causing its lysis, that's breaking down. So, question 13. Which compound present in hemoglobin causes the characteristics red color in the blood? Options: iron, sulfur, zinc, mercury. So the blood has the characteristics red color due to what? Iron found in hemoglobin. It what gives blood its red color. It is due to the iron containing hem in hemoglobin. When it binds to oxygen, it gives blood its bright red color. So moving on, question 14. How many thoracic vertebrae present? We have 12, 12, 10, 11, 13. So the correct option is what? 12. Human beings have 12 thoracic vertebrae. That's T1 to what? T12. Okay. So question 15. A cofactor that binds tightly tightly, that's the keyword there, that binds tightly to an enzyme is called options prosthetic group, apo enzyme, holo enzyme, aero enzyme. So the correct answer here is what? Prosthetic group is a tightly bound cofactor that permanently attach to an enzyme through covalent bonds, unlike loosely bound coenzymes. Okay, so first of all, what's coenzymes? Coenzymes or cofactors, there are what? Other factors, non-protein in nature, that helps an enzyme perform its functions very, very effectively. It what supplements the function of an enzyme. It helps activate them in some cases. So prosthetic groups are non-protein molecules, okay? They're bound tight to an enzyme. Example is heme, found in what? Hemoglobin. So question 16. Prokaryotic cells differ from other cells in that prokaryotic cells have what? Options. They have no nuclear membrane. They reproduce only asexually. They may reproduce sexually or asexually, and they are what? Anaerobic. So the correct option is what? Correct option is what? Absence of a nuclear membrane. They don't have nuclear membrane, so their genetic material is not enclosed within a membrane bound use. Okay, so first of all, we have two domains. We have prokaryote and eukaryote. So prokaryotes are organisms without a nucleus and without a membrane bound organelles. Eukaryotes have what? Nucleus and membrane bound organelles. So the correct option here is what? They differ because they don't have nuclear membrane. So question 17. The process of destroying all living microorganisms is best called options sterilization, immunization, pasteurization, and sanitization. So that's process of destroying living microorganisms is best called sterilization. It's also used in aesthetic technique that's trying to um remove microorganisms from contaminating your workspace during lab practicals. So sterilization eliminates microbes, alright? So it's a complete elimination of all microorganisms, including bacterial spores. Other processes like pasteurization only remove microbial numbers or target specific type. Immunization is wrong because it just activates your immunity. Example, vaccines. Pasteurization is also wrong. It's what tends to reduce their numbers, okay, not completely eradicate them. And sanitation, no, no, sanitation is just cleaning your surfaces. It is wrong because it reduces their numbers as well. So question 18. Which of the following list are three examples of antibiotics? Beautiful. Penicillin, therapycin, streptomycin. Very, very, very straight to the point. So correct answer here is what? Penicillin, therapycin, and streptomycin. All of them are what? Three of them are what? True antibiotics. ACTH is a hormone. Cortisol is a hormone as well. DNA is a genetic material, so it can't be the option there. Sulfur, sulfanilamide is what? An antimicrobial drug and not a classical antibiotic. So question 19. The following are food spoilage organisms. That's organisms that causes the food to spoil, except dash. So virus, molds, bacteria, yeast. Virus, of course. Virus, there are what? Remember, virus and actually they are not classified as living things or non-living things. They are standing as what? An edge between living and non-living things. Outside a host, virus are not living things. Inside a host, they are living things. So outside a host, they cannot really spoil food. They need the host to replicate and metabolize food. So the rest, molds, bacteria, yeast, they can degrade food via enzymatic activities. So virus are not typical food spoilage organisms. They require living hosts to replicate. Question 20. Observable inherited traits are called options phenotype, DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, genotype. So observable inherited traits is under genetics. So this is called phenotype. Phenotype is expression of your gene as physical expression of your genes. Phenotype refers to observable physical and biochemical characteristics. So it just means physical expression of your gene, such as your eye color, skin color. DNA or genotype, this is just genetic material, okay? They are not observable traits. RNA is incorrect. It just helps in protein synthesis. So 21, on the basis of susceptibility of organisms to thermal condition, microorganisms are classed into the following groups. Susceptibility means prone to. So organisms prone to thermal conditions are classified into the following groups, except osomophile. This is actually very wrong. The next one, thermophile, they are correct, adapted to hot environments. Psychrophile, they are adapted to what cold environment. Basophile, they are adapted to what moderate environment. Osomophile talks about salt concentration. Osmo, right? Osmo means salt concentration. Okay, so osmophile are organisms that grow in high sugar or salt concentration. They are not related to temperature. Question 22. The following events that take place in early prophase of mitosis, those all except this question repeated in 2022 biology past questions. Alright, so centrioles start moving towards each other. This is very correct. Okay, except this is wrong actually. This does not happen during prophase. Now, next option says chromosome become long and thin. Very correct. Nucleus starts to shrink. Very, very correct. Chromosomes become visible as chromatin threads condense. And these are typical things that occurs during what? Are typical things that occurs during what? Prophase. So question 23. The relationship between protozoan and termites can be described as mutualism, saprophytism, commensalism, parasitism. The answer here is what? Mutualism. Mutualism. Two of them what? Benefit from each other. One, two of them benefit, no one is what? Losing. Relationship between them is a mutualist one. One, the protozoan helps termites that digest cellulose and also what? Benefit from a stable environment and nutrients that the termite produce. Okay, so for saprophytism, this is just composing it is not relevant to the discussion. Commensalism, one is benefiting, the other body is not benefiting anything and it's not also harm. Parasitism, this is very bad. One is benefiting and the other one is not benefiting anything. Instead, that one is harmed. Okay. So question 24. The generation produced by crossing homologous parental stock is F1 generation. That's just correct option. This one monohybrid. This one dihybrid. F1 generation. F2 generation. So the correct option here is what? F1 generation. This is just the first filial generation that is produced from pure hybrid parents. So is the first generation of offspring resulting from crossbreeding two pure breeding parental lines. So 25. The change in amount, arrangement, or structure of DNA of an organism is called what? Options mutation, which is correct. Other options allele is wrong. Then genome is also wrong. Allele just means variance of a gene. Genome simply means entire genetic material, and RNA is involved in protein synthesis. So mutation is what? Is an alteration, that's a change in DNA sequence, okay? So any change to nucleotide sequence or structure of the DNA. So question 26. One of the following is not true. Not true. This keyword not. And funny enough, they normally put keywords in capital letters. So which of this is not true about meiosis and mitosis? Answers: there is no change of genetic materials in meiosis. Mitosis occurs in somatic cells. Mitosis does not take place in sex cells. There is an exchange of genetic materials in meiosis. So the correct option here is what? Remember, not true. So there is no exchange of genetic materials in meiosis, which is not true. Okay. Now, genetic materials, there is what? Exchange of genetic materials in meiosis. Now is a step called what? Crossing over. So it's not true. 27. The type of cell division during spermatogenesis and oogenesis in which there is a reduction of chromosome to half of the original number of chromosomes is called meiosis. Meiosis talks about what is a reductional type of division whereby the new individual, the new cell formed is what half less than the original one. Mitosis is wrong because the cells form maintain the original number of chromosomes. Gametogenesis, this is wrong. This is just gametogenesis means genesis of gametes, that's formation of gametes. Cytokinesis simply means division of the cell into two. That's after mitosis or meiosis have occurred, division of the cytoplasm into two. Question 28. The scientific study of cell is known as, this should be a giveaway question, cytology. Cyto means cells, okay? Logy means study, so study of cells, cytology. Anthropology, this is wrong, is wrong. Anthropology simply means study of human societies. Entomology is wrong. Entomology talks about insects. Anatomy is wrong. It talks about the study of organisms. That's microscopic feature of organisms. 29. One of the alternative forms of the same gene responsible for determining contrasting characteristics is called. Should be able to answer this one. Alleles. Alleles is just what? Genes. It's just what? Genes used to what? Describe the same characteristics. Just like they can be, it's just a variant of a particular gene. Just like some of us can have what? Some of us are fair, some of us are dark. So it's the same allele for what? Skin color. Skin color here is the gene. But fairness is an allele. Darkness, sorry, being dark is an allele. Being fair is an allele. Are you still with me? So DNA, that's the ribonucleic acid, is wrong. This just carries genetic material. Phenotype is wrong. Phenotype is observable trait, expression of genetic materials. Genomes is also wrong, which is complete set of genes. Question 30. Transfer of pollen grains from the anther of the pollination from the anther of a flower to the stigma of another flower. Okay. Transfer, please note. Transfer of pollen grain from the anther of a flower to the stigma of another flower of the same plant. Keyword, the same plant, okay? So the answer here is self-pollination. That's transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the same, self-pollination. In cross-pollination, it is transfer of what? Between different plants. So self-pollination occurs when pollen grain is transferred from the anther to the stigma of what? Another flower of the same plant. So question 31. The transfer of pollen grains from the anther of a flower to the stigma of another flower of the same plant is still what? Self-pollination. 32. Mr. Audu, a plantain farmer, on harvesting some of his plantain fruits of the bunches, discovered that fruit in one of the bunches had no seed. Plantain fruit in it has no seed. So the observation is due to the phenomenon called parthenocarpy. Okay, parthenogenesis, self-fertilization, cross-fertilization. The answer is here is what? Parthenocarpy. This is just development of a fruit without fertilization. Developing without fertilization is very, very common in bananas and plantain. Parthenogenesis, this is just an asexual reproduction, producing embryos without fertilization. It happens in lizards. Self-pollination and cross-pollination is incorrect. It refers towards seed formation. So parthenocarp production of fruit without fertilization. Question 33. A plant researcher, while carrying out a project on Piper nigrum, found out that some of the leaf yellowish. Some of the leaf is yellowish. This can be due to the fact that soil samples lack what is test your knowledge on micronutrients, magnesium, nitrogen, phosphorus, zinc. So the correct option here is what? Magnesium. Magnesium. So magnesium helps in what? Chlorophyll structure. That it helps in what? On the development of chlorophyll, which is the green coloring pigment in plants. So when magnesium is lacking, chlorophyll cannot fully develop. And when plants lack chlorophyll, they turn yellowish. Okay. Nitrogen causes uniform what? Yellow, right? In older leaf. It does not happen in just fiber plants. Okay. Phosphorus it leads to dark green pigment, not yellow. So when phosphorus is lacking, turns dark green, not yellow. Lack of zinc causes stunted growth. So moving on, question 34. One of the ways to identify a monocotyledonous plant is that options scattered and numerous vascular bundles, which is very, very correct. There is presence of pericycle. This is wrong. Pericycle is existing both monocot and dicot. Now, flowers are pentam pentamerous. This is also wrong. Dicot is what has pentamerous flowers. That's their flowers kind of like five petal flowers. Okay, what's next? Cambium is present. This is wrong. Cambiums are found in dicots. Dicot, like cambium. So correct option here is what? Scattered vascular bundles in the stem. Unlike dicot has what? Vascular bundles arranged in pairs. So 35. Gymnosperm. Gymnosperm plant that options produce naked seed, which is correct. Produce flowers, produce fruits, do not produce seed. So the answer here is what? They produce naked seeds, which is correct. Gymnosperms, they bear their seed on cones, alright? Their seeds are not enclosed within ovaries. Flowers and fruits, this is wrong. Flowers and fruits are found in angiosperm. No seed is actually wrong because gymnosperm is seed plants. 36. Protandrous are plants that options produce male flower and then change to female flower. That's what's made that to them. They first of all develop into male flowers and then into female. So this is to reduce what? Self-pollination. Okay, next option says produce both male and female together. This is wrong. Um produce male and female perfect flowers on the same. This is also what? Wrong. Protandry. Protandry is a condition where male productive organ for female. The 37. Monoecious plants. Monoecious are plants that produce both mono. See they say what they mono. So there are plants that produce the words both male and female flowers together. That's same-sex plants. They have both male and female reproductive structures on the same plant. Second option is wrong. Male to male is wrong. As first produce male and then change to female. This is wrong. First produce male flower and then change to female. First produce male flower and change to male. This is also wrong. Then produce male, female and perfect. This is wrong as well. Question 38. Mosses belong to what phylum of plants? Options Bry, Bryophyta, Lycophyta, Petri, Peridophyta, Spermatophyta. Right option here is what? Bryophyta. They are what? Non-vascular plants. Mosses are what? Non-vascular plants. They lack true roots, stem, and leaf. Lycophyta is wrong because this is what? A vascular plant. Something like glove mosses. Alright. Petridophyta is wrong as well. Are just seedless plants. Spermatophyta was just spermatophyta sperm seed. They are just seed producing plants. So 39. All vascular plants have options: haploid gametophyte, sporophyte as its principal name. Specialized roots, stems, leaf, and leafless xylem. Specialized dermal that prevent desiccation and gas exchange. This one says non-vascular plant, non-vascular. They have what? Haploid gametophytes. So they rely on haploid gametophytes for photosynthesis. So they rely on what? Dominant haploid genotype gametophytes what for their what? Photosynthesis. Unlike vascular plants that have dominant diploid sporophytes. Question 40. The kingdom of organisms that does not have a defined nucleus or organelle is known as what? Answer here says Monera, protista, fungi, plantae. Kingdom of organisms do not have a well-defined nucleus and organelles. They are called what? So the option here is what? Correct option here is what? Kingdom Monera. They are what? Prokaryotic organisms, including bacteria and archaebacteria. So they lack a membrane-bound nucleus and organelles. Protista are what? Eukaryotic unicellular organisms. They have membrane-bound organelles. Fungi are what? Multicellular organisms.